Welcome back, it's me, Thomas Fan01, and today we're going to be taking a look at Goofs in Percy's Predicament. This is the final episode in the Thomas Comes to Breakfast 4-part episodes. This is the final episode, which we will be able to see some obvious differences here. This is once again back to Season 2, and I'd like to make a special announcement that at the end of this video, I will be announcing the 4 options that we will take that we will do for the next episode. So I thank you once again to the commenter in the first Thomas Comes to Breakfast episode that we did, or that I did not too long ago. So just thought I'd give a nice little nod to him, considering the fact that he is the one who made this possible and thought that this would be a good one to do. Because usually what happens is when I find a trilogy that, or not even a trilogy, sometimes when I find specific ones to do, I don't like to do just the one episode. I like to do the whole shebang. So I'd like to give a really big nod to the person who suggested we do Thomas Comes to Breakfast. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get this going.
Daisy, the diesel rail car's work in the countryside, was full of surprises, but she was frightened.
Okay, obvious thing here. Back in season 4, there was a more mobile, or maybe not mobile. There was a more posable cow. These are just plastic toys,
Bulls and
or
cows, and she remained
something of that
very
nature.
lazy and stubborn. One day, Toby brought Henrietta to the station where Percy was grumpily shunting. "Hello, Percy. I see Daisy's left the milk behind again. I'll have to make a special journey with it, I suppose. Anyone would think I'd..."
Okay, small goof here. There's a little bit of shot right here where you can kind of see the camera. Either that or it's just the reflection of Toby. I also could be wrong on that. But one thing we need to know, what is this? Like, I have no idea what this is over here. It looks to be like a piece of hay from the episode Woolly Bear. So, you know, and then there's also a little bit of gappage here between the eyes. It's not exactly something that's professionally done, so, you know, that's it. That's it for this scene.
"Nothing to do," grumbled Percy. "Tell you what."
Okay, one thing we gotta note here, Toby's lamp iron right here is kind of broken, and in Season 4, there were these things on his model, but now they're broken, as you can see here. One sheared completely off, and then this one looks like it was just barely put together back with like maybe some engine epoxy or something, and his face is not exactly on his chassis very well. You can clearly see that there's light coming in behind his eyes, and you can clearly see that it's kind of at a rakish angle to the point where maybe, I don't even know how they managed to get these faces on, but my guess is they use sticky tack, because this is what that little bump is right there above his forehead, along with some white splotches here and there. Also, this model is really, really dusty, so this is something that was really prominent throughout the first and second season. So, anyways, let's continue.
Replied Toby. "I'll take the milk. You fetch my freight cars." The drivers and station master agreed. Percy
Okay, well, we'll skip it.
had never been to the quarry before.
Actually, no, let's go back. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Are these supposed to be chains? Here, let me zoom in for you there. What the heck are these? Are they chains, and then they just slapped some super glue or some sort of epoxy on there? And then, not to mention, this brake van is derailed, and what the heck's going on with this guy? He's too far out of the shot to be really that noticeable. So let's continue, man. That's kind of unsettling. And, you know, also real quick, is this like literally sticking out of the brake van, this like light pole here that looks like it was made out of a giant toothpick? Just saying.
Percy had never been to the quarry before. He began ordering the freight.
Okay, real quick, the narrator says that Percy has never been to this quarry before, but he has been to this quarry before, and Percy proves a point. I believe that's the one that he does, where he races Harold the helicopter, and he was at this quarry before this episode. So this is not this statement from the narrator is not factually correct. So let's continue.
About. Hurry along, he said.
Okay, what's going on with these little hairs here on top of the freight cars? Like, are they hay or hair or whatever's going on there?
The freight cars grumbled to each other.
Okay, this car looks like it's about to become derailed.
This is Toby's place. Percy's got no right to poke his funnel up here and push.
Obvious goof. Two cars with the same faceplate, just slightly different rakish eyes. This guy's kind of cross-eyed. This guy's kind of looking at the camera, foreshadowing maybe, you know, or fourth wall break, something of that nature. You never know.
Us around, they whispered and passed the word. Pay Percy back.
Same face as the other freight cars. 3 cars with the same face.
Pay Percy back. Come along.
And now they just changed him to this one. So, obvious narration flaw.
Percy, no nonsense.
Or editorial flaw, excuse me. Okay, let's really quick. Let's look at these workmen here. Those necks, they clearly metal. Clearly metal. Like, you can clearly see it. They, like I said before, these were made with lead models, and they just slapped some paint on and said, "Yeah, let's go with that." It just does not look right. It just, no.
But they followed so quietly that Percy thought they were under control.
Okay, before we continue, I will cover this in another video. This is Edward's branch line right here, and this is the Vicarage Orchard, I believe. I could be wrong. But, this here, and we will cover this in another video, this here is the steelworks. This building right here is the steelworks. So, the fact that when everybody says, "Oh, we've never heard of the steelworks before," yes, we have. In Season 2, when Edward saves Trevor, which I believe the episode is called Saved from Scrap, we see Edward, they mention, he takes a bunch of scrap to this place, and the steelworks turns it into more metal that they can use. This is the steelworks. So, I don't know why everybody's claiming, you know, that the steelworks is on the mainland. It's not. It's right here on Edward's branch line.
Suddenly, they saw a notice ahead. All trains stopped to pin down brakes. Beep, beep. Brakes, conductor, please. But before he could check them, the freight car surged ahead. On, they cried.
Okay, that last scene, let's...
The freight car surged ahead.
Okay, this is from Percy Proves a Point. This scene is from Percy Proves a Point. These cars are filled with gravel, not slate, or not slate like what they have here. They're covered in gravel. I will show you this in another scene.
They cried. Help!
As is this scene from Percy Proves a Point as well.
Help! Whistled Percy. The man on duty.
Okay, the man on duty, the points thing, or the signalman, I suppose. This guy we've seen this guy used so many times that you can obviously tell that the guy's neck is supposed to be like, I wish they would just cover it with the face paint that they use for the hands and the face, but no, they decided to use blue paint, and now it sticks out like a sore thumb. So you could call this sticky tack, or you could call this mispainting.
Crossing rushed to warn traffic with his red flag, but was too late to switch Percy to the runaway siding.
Okay, see, none of his cars are carrying the slate pieces anymore, and this car looks like it's falling apart right here. It literally looks like it's falling apart.
Frantically trying to grip the rails, Percy slid into the yard.
See? Look, his cars are covered with gravel. Like, there's a major goof in, like, one of those two scenes. They just reused the scene from Percy Proves a Point, and now it's covered in gravel. Like, what the heck's going on here? Make up your mind.
Beep, beep, look out!
Okay, real quick. This was meant to explode. We can all tell. because you can clearly see the lines here on the brake van, and you can clearly see that this was not made to be an actual prop piece. These pieces here looks like they were just barely glued on, and it just looks, this looks unprofessional, I suppose. So let's continue.
The brake van was in Smith.
Obvious problem here. You can clearly see the light reflection right here going on. There is no spot for the driver to sit right there. Obvious spot. And it looks like his roof is starting to kind of come off, or his cab roof is starting to come off a bit. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the lighting. I could be wrong. Don't sue me. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like a Season 1 freight car is behind him. Like, let's see if we can get this on camera. You see this little smudge here? And or right here? Like, right here, right where my mouse is, if you actually go and watch the video, and right here, it looks like a Season 1 freight car. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that's what it was. So, let's continue.
Marines. Percy's driver and fireman had jumped clear, but Percy was stranded.
Okay, real quick. Small problem here with Toby that they never fixed. What the heck's going on right here? It looks like something just kind of broke and they decided to fix it and slap it on. And his face is never aligned correctly in this episode. You can clearly see the gappage in the eyes right here and the gappage between the facial structure and the cab. And so, you know, that's just really sloppy.
Next day, Sir Topham had arrived. Toby and Daisy had helped to clear the wreckage, but Percy remained...
Alright, I can forgive the Fat Controller. I can barely forgive the policeman. But if you're gonna put workmen in it, at least make sure that they're painted. You can clearly see on the neck right here that that's not painted. That's a metal piece right there. And there's also metal chipping, or not metal chipping, paint chipping right where they move the arms. This is a gigantic lead meh. A gigantic lead meh. Yes, we're gonna go with that. A meh. And this police officer, there's some paint chipping on the back of the head. I can kind of forgive it because they painted the neck correctly finally. But there's also some paint chipping right where the arms are going. There's also a little bit of paint chipping right where the other arms were. And if I'm not mistaken, the Sir Topham hat has a little bit of a misaligned hat right here. I could be wrong, but let's look.
on his perch of freight cars.
Yep, right here. More workmen with more obvious metal problems. Like, look, right here. This is the workman that we saw in the last video, or one of the last two one of the videos that we did in the Thomas Comes to Breakfast 4-part trilogy, 4-part thing. Because look, he's missing so much paint right here, and he's missing it right around his neck. And this guy looks just fine. This must have been the one guy they used in this entire episode that was made out of wood. You can clearly see it. This guy has a tiny neck. This guy has a bit of a bigger neck. This guy has no paint. This guy actually has paint. This guy bending down here is most likely made out of lead because you cannot... Oh my goodness, I just noticed another goof here, right, when I was looking at this guy. You can clearly see the legs and the rear end of him are detached from his body. You can clearly see it. Like, let me take a look at let's zoom in on that. Right there. You can clearly see it right there. This guy must have been one of the lead models. So, let's get back to the episode, shall we?
We must now try, said Sir Topham Hatt.
Okay, small problems here that I was seeing, but now I'm not seeing. I saw something and then it disappeared. Whoops.
To run the branch line with Toby and a diesel. You have put us in an awkward predicament, Percy. I am sorry, sir.
Percy's face is not on correctly, as you can see the gigantic gappage in between the eyes here. Oh, this episode is going to bring the death of me.
You must stay there till we are ready, continued Sir Topham Hatt. And you really must be more careful with freight cars. Percy sighed. The freight cars groaned beneath his wheels. He quite understood about awkward predicaments. Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Daisy, too. My engines work hard. I send lazy engines away. Daisy was ashamed. However, Toby says
The camera was a bit shaky in that last shot there.
Worked hard after Percy's accident. So you shall have another chance.
It's really shaky.
Thank you, sir.
And
said
here.
Daisy. I will work hard. Toby says he'll help me. Excellent. What Toby doesn't know about branch line problems is...
Okay, his window here is not even put in correctly, and there's like a super glue smudge here going on, and you can clearly see a little bit of sticky tack right behind his eyes. It's just to keep the face on, and his face is not, put on properly due to the fact that you can literally see the outline on the edge right here, where you can clearly see where it was meant to be put in. And this lamp, they never fixed it. This looks like this whole thing was slapped together with super glue, and it was painted poorly. So yeah, you can clearly see it.
Worth knowing. Our Toby's an experienced engine. Next day, Thomas came back. And Percy was sent to be mended. Annie and Clarabelle were delighted to...
Okay. I feel like this could be a goof, but I'm not 100% sure because I have seen these doors open. I'm not sure if this was drawn onto Annie right here, but it looks like it was drawn. Like, you can clearly see these pieces here were drawn, but these pieces look like they were just slapped together, and they're like, okay, we'll go with that. It looks like these pieces were just barely drawn on. And actually, I think they were drawn on because this one right here goes off into a slant that way. So, it could be... I'm gonna chalk that up as a goof.
See Thomas again, and he took them for a run at once.
Maybe it's not a goof because Clarabelle's looks like it's done too.
All are now friends, and Toby has taught Daisy a great deal. She shooed a cow off the line the other day all by herself. That shows you, doesn't it?
All right. We will do this episode another day, but yeah, that was goof. Oh, shut up. We're not at you yet. We're not at you yet. So. Thank you to Thomas HD Classics, as I've been using your channel to be almost essentially my go-to for any sort of Thomas and Friends sort of look about things. So thank you for letting me use your videos, and thank you Hit Entertainment for letting me use your videos. I do appreciate your stuff, but I also gotta say, there's major problems with your videos every now and then. So anyways, this was Thomas Fan 01 saying don't forget to drop a like on this video, don't forget to drop a comment down on this video, and as always, do not forget to subscribe down below to my channel, where you can find many more goof videos. And if you haven't watched them, you might want to. They're pretty cool. I haven't had this set up very long because usually I would have to hold the camera. This time I'm actually using a tripod for my with my camera, which is kind of a shocker. I've never used one before. It's kind of weird. But anyways, so please don't forget to do that. And like I said in the beginning of the video, we are going to be doing another voting round. The next one is going to be the crap, I had it, then I forgot it. It's going to be the it's going to be one of the redo episodes where I go back and I redo one of the episodes. That we can have that happen. We can do a random season 4 video, as in we can do a random video from Thomas and Friends season 4. We can do one of the we can do some of the narrow gauge ones, which starting at the beginning we can do them with Grandpuff, Sleeping Beauty, You Can't Win, and then the beginning of the Skarloey Railway. We can look at those, and then it's possible we might do more, but we can do that, or So you guys choose one of the. Here are your options. One video from season 4 that is not related to the Skarloey Railway. 2 is one video pertaining to the Skarloey Railway. 3 is one of the episodes with Duke, one of the 4 that are there. And 4, the option is a redo. So let me know what you think down below. I would love to know. Please, I'd love to know what you guys think. So anyways, that's it for this video. So like I said in the beginning, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Don't forget to tell me what other goof videos you'd like me to do. And the highest vote wins. So anyways, thank you to the person who told me, who gave me some ideas for the new videos. This is Thomas Fana 1 saying don't forget to subscribe for more content, please. I mean, it helps. It really does. Don't forget, we are 10 subscribers away from 200. And that's right, you heard me. 10 subscribers away from 200. So thank you. And don't forget to, also don't forget to hit that notification bell as well. I mean, I do appreciate that notification bell. So thank you. And peace. Goodbye.